Says let's go. Let's get the show on the road. And I do what Rose says. I do. I do. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started.
Okay, everyone, this is Kristen Sorensen. She needs no introduction. She's South Park Church's Director of Seniors and Care Ministry, something
Yes.
like that, right? Take it away. Go ahead.
Oh, good. That was it. Great.
Yep, that was it.
Okay. Well, thank you for being here. I feel like maybe you're sick of hearing from me. I feel like I've been introducing myself over and over. But yeah, I know many of you, and it's a joy to know you. And I've been on staff, I've been at church, I should say, attending for 46 years. So I was not a newborn, but I was young, but not that young. And we still love to call this home, not because of tradition but because this is a church that's very important to us. And this is where my folks came to know the Lord, and where I came to know the Lord through the ministries of church. And my husband and I attend here, and our daughters, we got married here. Our daughters have been dedicated here, and this is where they came to know the Lord. And so it's just a church that has been very important over generations for our family. And here's my mom. Welcome. Come on and sit down. And she left. Let me go ahead and get started because I'm feeling pretty silly. So let's get focused here. I'm going to pray. So God, thank you so much for today. I thank you for Marty's sermon and just the reminders. And I just thank you for him being here in an interim capacity, and what a blessing he's been to me individually and to us as a church. I thank you for this time together. I thank you for the generosity that this church has always had towards those in need. And just bless our time together now. In your name I pray. Amen. Amen. So I've been honored to now be on staff at South Park just since January of this year. So just about 5 months as the Director of Care and Seniors. And I took over for Jesse, who was in that role in an interim capacity, and Jesse took over from Janine. And we all know Janine, and just the beautiful job that she did for years and years. And planning for today, since I've only been in the role for 5 months, I've looked through a lot of materials over the past 10 years, and have been just personally blessed by seeing all of the ways that this church cares for those in need. And why do we care? The Bible is very clear. In 1 John it says, but if anyone has the world's goods and sees his brother in need, yet closes his heart against him, how does God's love abide in him? And in Galatians it says, and let us not grow weary in doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up. So then, as we have opportunity, let us do good to everyone, and especially those who are in the household of faith. So South Park has a long history of being generous to those in our congregation in need. And it has maintained a benevolent fund for that purpose. It used to be called the Brotherhood Fund. We now call it the Care Fund. And I know that many of you in this room now and on the screen have been very generous to that fund over the years. So thank you for your contributions. And because of this generosity and following the promptings of the Holy Spirit, we've been able to maintain an ample fund, an ample care fund. So I want to talk about our care fund. And that's one of my duties as the care director, is to maintain and kind of steward the funds in there with a small group of people. There right now are 4 people on our confidential care team. Nobody will know who they are. It's confidential as to who is on that team. And we have emails back and forth about needs that are presented to us. So the care fund exists to provide financial assistance during a short-term financial hardship with the long goal of financial independence. It's financially supported by the attendees of South Park Church through designated giving, either online Or we have collected over the years, the first Sunday of every month, which is often Communion Sunday. That is when there's a kind of a special collection for the Care Fund. And then the primary recipients of this fund are regular attenders of South Park Church who are lacking financial resources for a very specific need or a specific time frame. People who are only active in one of our ministries, like Celebrate Recovery or MOPS, or they only attend Ironman. If they only attend a ministry, there is special consideration given for that. But it's primarily for the attenders, for people who call this home. We have also our secondary recipient are our outreach partners, who also, if they have an urgent personal need. So we have a very full outreach ministry, and that's been a long tradition here too that I just love. But we consider outreach partners who have an urgent personal financial need that exists outside of their regular ministry support. And then, like I said, we have a small team that exists to discern and steward the distribution of the Care Fund, following a review process to, kind of evaluate and approve requests. So kind of the process that we follow is, after a need has been made known to me, I will seek to gather additional information. So I do have to have a personal conversation with the person that either has become made known to me through somebody else or they've approached me themselves, to learn about the crisis, learn about the length of time that they've been in crisis. I'll ask about any other efforts that they've taken to resolve the crisis, any resources they have available, learn what they can contribute. We think it's really important that the person in crisis does contribute a little bit to their to the need, because that really ensures active participation and engagement in the process. And I'll talk about what that means in a little bit. So I have a long conversation, and some people don't want to go into those details, but if we're considering helping somebody, we really need to ask questions and find out information. So I will gather the context, the relevant context, and then present it to our care team. And then we need 3 out of the 4 to say, yes, we'd like to do that. And they might come back to me and ask me some more questions, and then I'll go back to the person. So we really need to know, have a good amount of information about that. And after a need is determined to be approved by us, then we have somebody who kind of maintains the checkbook and the finances, and that person will write a check. And we will either give it direct to the person, or if it's for a car payment or a car repair, we will make that check out to the auto shop. Or if it's for rent, we will make it out to the landlord. So when we can, we give that money to the person who will be receiving it, in the end. So it's a neat process. A lot of these conversations just help the person really think deeply through things. We've had situations where it's not something that we can help with, but just the process and the conversation and follow-up phone calls has just given the person, just the opportunity to really think it through, and come up with other solutions even on their own, through that conversation, which is great. So then I wanted to talk about some examples, how has the Care Fund helped people? And again, this list is some things that I've been a part of in the past 5 months, and some of it is over the past 10 years, just as, like I said, as I was doing some research. Therapy is so important. And whether it's individual or couples or family therapy. So we support that. And it can be something that sometimes insurance covers and sometimes it doesn't. So the Care Fund is always very willing and eager to help people get the therapy that they need, knowing that can be really transformative. We start by approving 8 sessions, and then we ask the person what they can contribute. Sometimes at the beginning of the year when the deductible is so high, That can be a tricky time for people. But maybe at the end of the year, they were used to paying the $15 copay. So oftentimes they'll pay the $15 copay and the care fund will pay the rest. And we have a list of counselors, Christian counselors that we refer to if people need that. And what I've seen too are the counselors are always very generous. Like often they'll write off a good portion. The person themselves will pay the copay and the care fund will pay the rest. So we do usually approve it in 8 segments, 8 session segments. And then at the end of those, I will have a conversation with the counselor. And, you know, if they say, yes, this person's really making progress and I really recommend another 8 sessions, you know, then usually we'll go ahead and approve that. So that is a neat way to see people progress with getting the help that they need that they might not have been able to afford on their own. Rent or mortgage payments, you know, whether it's a job loss or some other expenses that somebody has in their life. Sometimes if they need support with a mortgage payment, I'll bring that to the care fund, you know, with other context. And sometimes helping people through 2 months of that will make all the difference. So that's been done. Medication can be expensive. Sometimes people need very expensive medication to keep them alive, honestly. You know, we've seen that. And so we are very happy to jump in and support people as their medication needs change. There are programs that people can apply to get support with that. But we've helped people through that process because it might take 2 months for them to be approved for this financial assistance program with medication. But they're not going to wait. They can't wait, you know, so we've been thrilled to help people with the medication cost. So that's a joy. Dental surgery is so expensive. Some people have insurance for that, some don't. Some procedures, you know, so we've, over the 10 years, you know, have done some, I've seen the care fund really come alongside people for some serious surgery that is needed that they don't have the insurance for. Car repairs, you know, we all know how everything can be budgeted perfectly and then all of a sudden there's a huge car repair needed. So we've helped people with that. Groceries, moving expenses, cleaning services, medical devices that aren't covered by insurance. You know, my research has showed, you know, just coming around families and families in crisis and paying for camp fees for their kids for the summer or school supplies, you know, those kinds of things. We have something called a Grand Pad, which is a very simplified kind of laptop that is designed for seniors. And Paul does such a beautiful job of working with some of our seniors, and he is kind of the tech expert. And so he has gotten this Grand Pad, and the care fund will pay for the first couple months while the senior is determining if that's something that they want to use or not, because it's a way to keep in touch and simplified way of emailing and keeping in touch. Let's see, what else have we all of us participated in? I guess that's kind of what I'm thinking about for now. As I mentioned, the secondary recipient is our outreach partners. And when I first came on board, even with COVID, you would think there would be so many needs, but I think even just with the isolation that everybody was in, our requests have gone way down. So I reached out to our outreach partners and just shared, you know, please let us know if there is a specific need, a personal need that you have that is outside of your regular support. And I've got some beautiful emails back of people just amazed that a church would reach out that in that way and just say, what else can we do for you during this time of COVID? A couple of our outreach partners had COVID themselves, and they were now on inhalers that their insurance didn't cover. So we were able to cover that unexpected medication. One of our outreach partners each week drives all around Chicago and picks up kids and brings them to church. And her car had a massive repair need, and she didn't have $1,700, you know, to fix it. So we were thrilled thrilled to be able to come alongside her in that very specific, unexpected need that makes such a huge difference. One of our outreach partners, they just are in need of a car, and we weren't certainly not going to be able to pay for a car for them, but they had a fund already set up. So we went in there and were able to make a nice contribution to that. I think many of you know this. I'm not going to use a name. I thought like, oh, you all know this person. And it's just another one of our outreach partners. There was a big storm, and the equipment that is required for their outreach and their mission was damaged. And so we were able to participate in that. So, and again, when I say we, I mean all of us, because you are all the contributors, the generous contributors to this fund. And I'm so happy to share with you how we have all worked together for this. So as I mentioned, even during COVID, you would think that the needs are so great, and I believe that they are. And so I'm excited to share with you also, we are all, as we're building relationship, as we're having fellowship, please always remember that this fund exists. And if you hear somebody sharing about a financial crisis that they're in, you can say to them, this might be something that the Care Fund can help you with. Direct them to me or to an elder or a staff member who will then direct them to me. But I would love to have my phone ringing off the hook with people who need some support that we can bless through the abundance that we've been given. So please just maintain an awareness of that. Or if you yourselves find yourself in a crisis, please reach out. It's a joy to, that reciprocity of the mutual encouragement that we have when we're able to serve, and then when you're able to receive. We've seen over the years how that has helped and really made a deep influence in people's life. So thank you for that. Yeah, I think, as you're in your Thrive groups, as you're at your Ironman table, as you're volunteering in children's ministries, as you're in Journey, just as you're interacting with people over a cup of coffee or lemonade, just keep the Care Fund in mind. And we would love to serve. Let's see, any questions about the Care Fund? Yeah.
Well, first of all, I am blown away by the scope of the Care Fund.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. And
Great.
I'm so glad that I've been a contributor and continue to be.
Good.
We must have a very healthy Care Fund.
Well, I mean, it's healthy and it's moving, and
I'm very glad.
yeah.
Excuse me, could you repeat the question?
Well, Jean just said that she's blown away by the scope of the Care Fund and how it's been able to support people. And she said that she's glad to be a contributor, and I'm so thankful. And what else did you say?
Well, I just asked how it must be very healthy.
Oh, it must be very healthy. I guess I don't, we would love to learn of more needs.
Of course.
Yeah, we would love to learn of more needs. One other thing I forgot to mention, the Sunday night suppers. Some of you may have heard of that. That is a Park Ridge ministry with other local churches that feed those with food insecurity here in Park Ridge. So South Park, we sponsor 3 Sunday suppers a year. Have you helped with that, George? Yes, I think you have. And Vic, you have it. So pre-COVID, it was a big thing where we needed tons of volunteers and we could serve the people and interact and have conversations. With COVID, now they only need like 2 volunteers, and we just did one in May. And it just, again, they needed 2 people. So now it's just kind of a drive-through and kind of pass them a packaged meal. We have our 3 dates for next year. and hoping that the format will change to where the folks actually come into the Park Ridge Presbyterian Church, sit down, we serve them a meal. And so when I say South Park sponsors 3 of those a year, we pay for all of the food, the beverages, and the dessert. So our care fund finances 3 of those meals each year. Yes, Jean?
Do you think at some point that they will need more volunteers? When do you see that happening?
I don't know, I'm hoping soon. So we have December, I'm trying to think, December and May of this year. So I'm hoping certainly and we have a 3rd date, I just can't remember offhand.
So the next one would be in December.
I think we have one even sooner than that, but maybe it's September, December and May.
Will they announce it, asking for volunteers?
So yes, I will announce it when we need a big group again. When we needed just 2, I kind of looked at the list and folks that have done it before. I just asked them because we only needed 2. But when we need a lot, how many were there, George? Do you remember how many volunteers? I mean, I think 15 or so. It was a big event.
I signed up and didn't show up.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for confessing. It's okay. We have a big group. So yes, I will let you all know as soon as we can have a big group again. Yeah, that's very special. Any other questions about the CARE Fund? Dorothy, do you have any? Because when you
No, just to say it's a wonderful, wonderful thing that we have in church.
It is, and again, this fund has been operating for as long as we've been here so I'm sure it's been forever and ever. And this has been traditionally just a very generous church. And we can very creatively come alongside people and be the hands and feet of Jesus to get people through a tough time. And it's a joy. It's a joy to be the staff member that gets to kind of work it all out and figure it out with a team of people, a very dedicated, compassionate team. I wanted to also share another joy that I get to have as part of my duties is work with our Discovery folks. And nobody's been more happy to be together than our Discovery folks. And our Discovery ministry is typically people 70 years of age and older. The room is situated like this because we had a wild bingo game on Friday. We had 25 people here for 2 hours of bingo. And so that's been the 3rd bingo I think we've had. Discovery's been meeting since April. I think so. We have a very dedicated leadership team that meets regularly. So we've had bingo 3 times. We have a beautiful hymn sing. Mary plans very thoughtfully different hymn sings, and we have one coming up this Friday. So anybody's welcome. It's really a beautiful time. So the theme of this is you pick it and we'll sing it, right? So yeah, we bring the piano over and the hymnals over and we sing those old beautiful tunes. That's how many we've had. 3 hymn sings so far. This will be the third. We had an afternoon of humor in here, which was a riot. We have a lot of fun, right? There's some Discovery folks here. We have a good time. So if it's been a joy to be able to get those folks back in the building. That's our group that has been likely a little more isolated than the rest. So it's been so fun to get people back. On June 25th, we have a hoedown. Pastor Marty will be offering a devotion. We're going to play games, sing songs, tap our feet. We're going to have a special appearance by Minnie Pearl, right, Jean?
Yes.
And Will Rogers, right, Bob? You said yes to something. I know, I heard. So it's going to be a riot. That's going to be downstairs in the NPR on June 25th at 2 p.m. So that's been a joy. Yes.
George Vogels might be with us as well.
George Vogel.
Oh.
Okay. You said it. You, all right.
Kristen, I have a question about
Yes,
the hymn sing. Is it possible to have the hymn sing hooked up via Zoom?
Hmm. I bet it could, the hymn sing.
I can't do that.
No, I think it can. I will talk to Adam and Renee or Jesse, and that would be lovely.
Because Kathy says that she'd like to participate if it could be done via Zoom.
Of course, yes,
Yes.
yes, okay.
Okay, let
I
us
think
know
we can
then.
do that for sure. I think we can do it.
Okay,
Thank
thanks.
you. Thanks for that thought.
Will you be there, Dorothy, to help her?
Will you be there with Kathy? Or somebody will, Friday at 2. We'll figure that out to make sure somebody's there. Yes, Phyllis. The question was, Dorothy wondering if we can do this setup for hymn sing so that Kathy can participate. Sandy, you're welcome to join us too. So that people at home can participate. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. And so the other ministry that is really up and running again, like most of them are, which is so exciting, but third quarter. So third quarter is typically 50 years old to 70 or however much. The fun thing that everybody says is we don't check IDs. So just come to whatever you want to come, and we won't see if you're old enough or young enough or anything. But third quarter, we've been doing some fun Zoom events. Sandy's participated, and Frank and Dorothy have. Pat Moy led us in a cooking demonstration of a savory Asian flank steak, and it was delicious. So she's cooking at home, and we're all in our own homes cooking along, getting the ingredients ahead of time. My mom and I, just last Friday night, we did a baking edition, and we gave everybody the recipe ahead of time, and we baked a cake over Zoom. And some people watched and some people baked along. So it's been, that leadership team is very creative as well. It was a Norwegian,
Lucas.
there was no lutefisk in it, I promise. Blitz cake. Yeah, so it was meringue and custard, and yes, so that was fun.
Bob Buchanan was our MC or our moderator.
Right.
You made things very interesting.
Right.
We invited anybody over afterwards. So Bob came over, Reenie came over, and Janet. came
Yeah, it
over
was nice.
To our house, because they didn't bake, but the
Yeah.
others baked. It was pretty. Fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. And we have coming up in July, Bob Buchanan is an artist. We're gonna do an in-person event in the NPR. Bob is going to walk us through step by step a painting project. So we'll have the supplies here, and he'll be walking us through a simple painting project. So it is such a joy to be together again, such a joy to have our ministries up and running. Thrive is just going so strong. Ironman is going so strong. Celebrate Recovery and MOPS, and there's just, I'm missing. Wonderland is open now again for the 2 to 5 year olds. Echo is back to their regular programming. Summit is doing some fun things over the summer. There's a college Bible study. The young adults are getting back together. There's a lot of really good things happening. So as we are all part of the Care Fund, we are all contributors. Please also be its ambassadors as you're out and about, as you're fellowshipping, as you're serving. Remember the fund, so that we can all make sure that people get the support they need when they need it. Just direct them my way. Okay, well, let's close in prayer unless there's any other questions. Okay, God, I do thank you for South Park Church. I thank you for the generosity that you've laid on the hearts of the people over the years. I thank you for the Care Fund. I thank you for how it's blessed people and pointed people to you, Lord. Everything we do is because we love you, and may everything we say honor you. Thank you for this time together. Thank you for these people attending and those that may watch later. I would love that you would just bring people in need to us. We trust you with all of this and more. In your name we pray. Amen.
Hi, this is Dorothy.
Thank you.
I want to say what a great presentation. And
Oh,
also,
thank you.
yeah, thank you.
Oh,
And
sure.
just wanted to remind people that next week, Nick Brait will be up for the next in his evangelism series. So don't miss that. He's a great teacher. And the week after is the congregational meeting, so we will not be meeting.
And lunch, congregational meeting and lunch.
Oh yeah, don't forget lunch, right?
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, thank you all. Thanks for being here. Are we getting you out early? Oh, I guess not too early.
Oh,
Yeah.
early.
Oh, this is early?
Yeah, this is early
This
because
is
it
early, yeah.
Okay.
usually
Because
goes.
the preacher goes so long.
All right. Thank you.
All right, thank
Bye,
you so much for
Kathy.
everything you do for the church,
Oh,
Kristen.
it's my pleasure. It really
Yes,
is.
thank you.
It's my
Thank you.
pleasure. Bye, Kathy. Bye, Sandy.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Roberta and Daryl.
It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, and bye to you.